Yeah, and they defeated the MSI champions to get here to MSI Genji. So that also would have been really scary, but you know what? It's all good. And that we'll see here in game number 3 as we are able to get into our champion select powered by HyperX. Let's go. No reason for T1 to change their ban still, Dracos.
Nope. Team Liquid still, it would seem, prioritizing that counter pick, or at least a later draft pick. Maybe once again to set Morgan up has really paid off for them, as you see some bans targeted his way. Maybe heralding a Jace option from T1.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's exactly. And
the immediate response. You cannot have that champion.
You're like, okay, no thanks.
So what is left on the table? Of course, in patches past, Varus was often a very high priority pick, very high priority ban, but was hit pretty heavily in terms of his 80 scaling ratios and some of that early attack speed he gets from killing minions. So not quite as, omnipresent as a top lane bully or potential flex pick. But T1 taking their time here. Lee Sin for Oner.
Oner Lee Sin, okay. I mean, Jose, it's been Jose's best champion also, but Oner, of course, legendary Lee Sin player. What are we going to play into it? There's no Poppy, obviously, off the table from the previous game. Gonna have to go a different little bruiser here for Jose.
See how spicy he wants to get. I remember in 2024 when he played for Estral, he was playing, I think, Diego into Oner's Lee Sin, and it did work out somewhat well early on. Instead, we're going for a little engage on the bottom side.
Yeah, if you have Neeko, Nocturne's always really good to make sure the engages are really powerful. There you go. Instantly can get that pairing. You turn out the lights, get the Neeko exactly where she wants to go. And that's going to be telling the exact comp here that we're going to run. So what kind of counter engage are we going to get?
And I do really like Team Liquid putting themselves in a position to be the proactive party. In the previous game, they had the more reactive composition, really couldn't make it work. This time around, they have all the tools to kick fights off on their terms. But T1 opting for a lot of just early powerhouses, right? Lee Sin, ever since the buffs, has still just been, classic Lee Sin. Can't really be that massive playmaking threat. And Renekton on the top side, blind for Doran. Has been struggling in the lane, but Renekton, as always, still can be this big lane bully, this big threat.
Yeah, and it's a great blind pick, and it's also great to take it away from Morgan. As you said, Morgan's already been performing really well, and if he gets his Renekton, that could be further pain for Doran. So T1 gonna play pretty safe so far. Is Faker gonna? No, okay, yeah.
Okay.
It's been mostly just the Lissandra into the Ahri, so we go with the Annie for the engage straight up.
And I kind of like this choice into the Nocturne Neeko, recognizing that no matter what you do in this game, there will probably be moments where you're going to get one shot. So picking a champion who can do one rotation, flash in, get that ult, and that's more than enough to win a team fight instead of something that's going to need more time.
I mean, Quid could do the Ahri into the Annie, but that's not a good matchup. So he's going to go Galio combination here with the Nocturne Neeko. All right, full-on dive combo. Wombo from Team Liquid.
What is the angle now for AD carry for top lane? It's a tough one to figure out, because remember, again, as much as we like to look at the compositions from the big picture, the lane matches are important.
Because anything that with extra dashes that would be able to escape your Galio Nocturne Neeko composition, maybe take away some mobility AD carries.
Lulu, the immediate limit. Don't want to deal with the wild growth, the potential to disrupt a lot of these dives, as well as just Lulu being such an obnoxious laner to play against. And again, in this third draft, taking a lot more time on these picks and bans, really trying to solve the puzzle of Team Liquid's dive composition. Okay, Vayne.
Yeah, they don't want the counter pick on top side. Try and protect the Renekton a little bit here, especially because if you're running Nocturne, Galio, Neeko, strong side lane, Vayne could get out of control.
Definitely could. Don't want to give away any free laning advantages, especially in a lane that has already been struggling to match in the 1v1. Zaahen, not a surprising ban to see. Again, just the relative safety. Instead of banning the Rakan, of course, to try to stop the duo, just banning the champion who can get out of all damage for a couple of seconds.
Yeah, those counter-engaged champions. Okay, meanwhile, the bottom lane has been quite the issue. Biggest topic here for the series so far. And Peyz and Keria have one ban available to them if they really fear anything.
Okay, Kai'Sa, the choice.
The dive AD
The dive,
carry.
yeah. You don't want to give an AD carry that can just easily get into position. Kai'Sa has some pretty tough lane matchups, but maybe T1 isn't looking into picking something up like the Corki up here or
just
anything else.
Comp thematic ban here. All right, Yeon. What do we feel safe with, like Jhin or something like that?
Varus.
The Varus
flex.
still, even with the nerfs. Okay.
So giving the option to potentially flex here. Again, we're going to keep repeating it. Varus really heavily nerfed, limiting kind of the lethality Varus that we'd see in bottom lane, as well as some of the early oppressive power of the top lane Varus. His W on hit damage at level 1 cut in half, a skill that you really don't take extra points early in. So much less oppressive is wow. Wow! There is nothing funnier in the world to me than getting ready to cast a T1 game to talk about Keria and this man picking Yuumi. we talk about the Peyz, we talk about the Camille's, we talk about literally the Renatas, any playmaker in the game. And it makes sense. I get what they want to do here. They want to weather the storm. They want that hyper carry. But it's
funny because it's the support with the literal best hands in the world.
Yes.
On the champion.
The least hand-intensive champion in the world.
The least hands. So it is good though. It's a goodie. It's an oldie but goodie there. Dracos with the Zeri Yuumi. Team Liquid, they try to kind of cut a little bit of this by banning the Lulu. But they're just going to switch it up there and add in the Yuumi instead. And Morgan's going to go on to his Zaahen here. So he has had some pretty good Zaahen games. And he's been doing quite well for this series. So maybe that's the angle. You've got Nocturne Galio for your mid and jungle to try and play to your side lanes for Team Liquid. But in the end, you're going to have to deal with Peyz on a hyper carry with a Yuumi on him.
And credit to T1, they recognize this so early on, but Peyz is a demon. And this composition really is just set up to help him succeed in the later stages of the game. T1 certainly a lot of early to mid-game firepower. You have the Annie for playmaking, the Lee Sin, the Renekton on the top side. But as you get later in the game, you know, T1, no super reliable point-and-click CC. So if Peyz is playing well, it is going to be really tough to reliably lock this Zeri down, especially with a Yuumi lashed to his back. Early on, I imagine it'll still be quite difficult. But later stage, oof.
All right, game number 3. Must win here for Team Liquid. They want to keep their hopes in this series alive. And T1 looking at wrapping up the very first series of MSI themselves.
Wrapping up feels the appropriate. It does sometimes feel like T1 in these early series, reminding us that they could have made this an email. They could have just said, we're going to win.
Hey, man, that. It was fun. Game 2 was really
fun. It was
fun.
really close.
They made me believe.
I believed too, Kobe. I was like, maybe we are here for 5 games. Maybe we are here for Silver Scrapes. And that belief has faded for a moment, as I imagine it has for a number of NA fans. But if they have another strong early game, Quid can find another lead or maybe set up someone else to do it on the Galio, could be a really good spot.
Early stages here. Peyz and Keria are already running them out of the lane, making them chug their potions very early. Meanwhile, Jose as well trying to fight Oner out and split it again.
Hoping to steal away. Umbral Blades, the passive for Nocturne, does make it easy for him to take away multiple camps at the same time, but Faker now wandering over. Camp battle here is both sides fighting, and now it's Josedeodo who's in trouble. Stun already stacked for Faker. It's just going to be forced to flash away. Flash, follow. Oner wants to keep this fight going. He's getting a little bit lower, but that's Josedeodo down, tick over to level 2. He's got the Q, and now he can finish the job. Quid dead as well. It's a disaster. The lane phase didn't even start, and there's already 2 members in body bags.
Oh, the North American fans are looking at an early bedtime now, Draco. Holy, we go for the Raptor flip here. And Faker had the inside route to come over first for quite a while on the Annie. And they still decide to force it there for Jose on Raptors. Oner's like, yoink, thank you very much. And Faker, you can see him up there on the Annie. He's casting spells up at those minions up there. And you see he's at 3 stacks now. He stacks it up. Now he gets his 4th stack off of that one. Flashes forward. My 4th is ready. Boom. Into the Q combo. During the stun. Finish it out. They get the 2nd kill as well for the chase.
Oner ticking over to level 2 to get the Q, to get that Sonic Wave resonating strike.
Yeah.
Gosh, I mean, it just makes all the difference in the world. There's nothing you can do with that kind of level discrepancy early on. Faker and Quid still trading blows, but Quid throwing that Q a little bit far, and Faker not afraid to just step up and Have assert dominance here in this mid lane matchup. 1,000 goals lead, 2 minutes and 30 seconds in. It's not over, but this is definitely pretty close to the worst possible start. And unfortunately, for the TL fans, we are going to sit in this moment for a little bit longer, and we'll keep you guys up to date as we have more information on what the pause is about.
Yeah, I wasn't ready. Let's restart.
I wasn't
ready.
We're all just going to pretend we didn't see that. We're going to restart.
Okay, so jungle obviously going to be heavily impacted there because his own Raptors were stolen away as well in the aftermath. Oner immediately crossed over, took Raptors too. And then mid lane was getting pretty hard there because Faker had the health lead and was just going to keep stacking up his stun once again off minions again. And so CoreJJ had to, on his reset, exit out down towards mid. Oner feeling probably very confident at the moment.
Yeah, it's a good look. And I think stealing camps away from any jungler early on, getting that kind of advantage against any jungler feels good. But against Nocturne, it's especially punishing, right? Yeah. Nocturne can be a big duelist threat early, but you just mostly don't have to fight him. He doesn't have a big dash. He doesn't have a way to get on top of you. So it's all often about farming for that level 6, and that's just been slowed down so significantly. Whereas an empowered Lee Sin, a Lee Sin who gets early kills, is terrifying across the entire early to mid game. Morgan, though, once again, maybe hoping to be the difference maker. W flash, forcing the flash out from Doran as well. Well played by Morgan.
I mean, Morgan this whole series has been performing here, and it has been very much in isolation, too. Top lane truly has been the island that it's known for. So CoreJJ is actually just going to finish pushing the wave for Quid there, but, I mean, it's still going to be a substantial deficit in mid lane as well. It's not just the fact that the extra kill went over to Oner, and he's got the money there to give the lead over jungle, but also the CS difference that Quid suffered because of this. The one thing that they could try to do to make up for it is that Quid has flash advantage over Faker, so you can flash right onto him and then try and go for a taunt play to set someone up if your jungle or support is at a roam time or something like that, but that's might be wishful thinking.
Especially when Josedeodo doesn't have that flash himself, right? Doesn't have that way to get in, as we see Oner poking his head into the mid lane, just knowing that they could
respawn.
Yeah, force this out, and there's not really going to be a good response. Don't know if he has perfect information on Josedeodo, but knows he's just more powerful. The mid lane 2v2 here. Mid jungle so strong for T1.
Yes, sir, and that is going to continue. This is interesting. We got a reset from Jose, so they're going to fight over these Krugs. Oner still level 4.
Josedeodo has blue buff advantage. Oner wisely waiting out the AD steroid that comes in from Nocturne. Doran waiting off to the side, gets the Krugs, looking to hop over the wall. Team Liquid just have to walk away. They don't have a flash to follow. Morgan doesn't have a flash, so the mobility that Oner brings to the table is just unanswerable.
Yeah, and he slaps most of the small Krugs too. Those things have a lot of the gold in them. He got the smart on the big one, gets the small ones too.
He got the gold, he got the XP. And he certainly has the Lee Sin record. 61-22?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I mean, what does Jose got? Let's see. He's going to run through mid. Oh, man, it's so painful, dude.
Out of the wave. Do it. Out of the wave. Okay.
No. He has no camps to do. Oner's taking everything from him. Took his Lee Sin from him. And took his life from him.
And you can see, like, Jungler just walked by. Josedeodo just walked by, and Faker is just walking to Quid's face because he doesn't have to care. Nocturne pre-6 at a deficit just isn't a threat to him when there's this big of a health discrepancy.
I feel like we used everything in the previous game. And then this game, it feels like everybody's out of breath.
Let's be clear. If anyone on the planet says they would have the mental fortitude to come in 100% form after that last game, you're a liar. That's a hard one to lose. And so for TL, after that early level 1,
6-4, bro.
We have to hope for the bounce back. We have to hope for the bounce back.
Level 6 to level 4, come on.
Uh-oh. Lee Sin coming from behind. Peyz looking for the setup. Oner locked down for a moment, gets the kick across. Core's going to live. Yeon still firing back with a little bit of damage. Q going to go through. Peyz forced to flash away. You can see the Varus still pretty powerful in those trades, even after the nerfs, but unfortunately, bot lane, not the name of the game for the first time in this series. You know, it is favored, we expect, for Yeon core early on. However, it just doesn't matter because the rest of the map is struggling so much that it's just giving Peyz and Keria a lot of space that they maybe didn't expect to have.
Yeah, mid jungle's been the focus, but you're right. As far as the The Varus and Neeko still getting their CS lead on bottom side. It's just that with your jungle having the 2-level lead and access to the ult is just insane. I mean, this jungle advantage, this jungle gap is incredible.
Because it's easy to see the world where Team Liquid can get pushed early, can start forcing plays on the bottom side if they so choose, with the advantage that they should have in the 2v2, with how kind of underwhelming Yuumi can be in a lot of those dive scenarios. But once your mid-jungle falls behind, it's just so much space for Peyz. And now instead of losing dramatically, he's losing gracefully. He's just falling a little bit behind, and we know as a scaling threat, he can absolutely outmatch.
Yeah, and the Zeri is going to be a focus later. So if the Nocturne is underfed, wait a second.
Ulti there from Yeon.
Big
Block
hit.
up there. Good damage, and that's going to be the kill. Peyz overstepping Keria. Now going to find a cat on the side as Oner manages to go in for a little bit more. Oner taking down Yeon. CoreJJ hoping to get a little something back, but I don't think you're killing this Lee Sin. Oner. Keria strapped to his back. I don't even know if he needed that one. CoreJJ just trying to sidestep the Q. It does hit a minion, so he will walk away. Debating if he can go back in. Just a 1-for-1. Both 80 carries down.
Nice playing into the wave there for Core, so he doesn't give another kill over to this Lee Sin. As you say, both 80 carries going down, but only one of the 80 carries got the last hit, and Yeon gets extra money paid into his pockets here, so no sums will be available on Peyz for the rest of the lane phase here. Let's take another look. Yeon just fights his way out of this. The sidestep there on the snare from CoreJJ, yeah, but Yeon is able to land the ult then because you're right against the wall. Nice and easy for him to land that, and then he is able to pop the stacks and get his kill. Then Oner, of course, comes in, and Core plays to the wave so that Oner's next Q does go into the minion.
Yep, and good patience from Oner in that exchange to kind of take his time on that second Q onto Yeon, making sure that he can get in a position where Core could not body block. It is now T1 taking that momentum, shifting their focus to the top side of the map, willing to give up a couple plates, willing to give up a little bit more gold to maybe accelerate the pace of this game with a top side play, as Void Grub's already down 3-0 in the favor of T1.
All right, here it comes. 4 people. Oner's coming too.
Morgan in trouble.
Can he stack his passes?
Lock up there. Ulti across. CC immune for a brief moment, trying to turn it back. Deletes the wave. Oner now going in. Forced to dash back out, but that blinking health bar is so low. Keep your eyes on the Yuumi. Damage the Q. Oner, does he want to take it? Can't risk getting knocked up. The redive, it feels like it has to happen. Another Q. This time it's going wide.
Where's Nocturne ult? Come on, get over there.
The prowling projectile not there.
Oh my goodness, Morgan lives. They protect Morgan. He's able to survive in the end. Just barely. The Nocturne had started coming over from mid lane, so they knew Jose was going to get into range to ult. And then Morgan will live this time around. He had to use the flash there though, because of Oner taking his Q in. And they kind of delay.
It's a quick dash back. Good to survive. Does mean that Josedeodo also picks up a bit more money in the mid lane, but the top side of the map is bleeding gold. Continues to, at least in mid jungle. Morgan doing a good job of holding his own, but you've seen, even if you're doing well in the 1v1, once you fall behind in mid or jungle, you're going to see a lot more people in your lane than you maybe bargained for. Morgan adjusting his lane assignment to pick up mid. It's Quid just now going to be able to get the recall.
Yeah, we'll see too, because bottom lane, they swapped over Doran there into the 1v1 versus Yeon, and Yeon's about to have both summoner spells plus a Neeko. Maybe CoreJJ can make some sort of sneaky Neeko play on returning to lane. They do have a lot of vision down on the bottom side, so Doran's got to be very careful here with no ult for himself.
Yeah, no ulti.
Neeko there, excuse me, right into vision.
Kill would be ideal, forcing a flash would be good, but you can see Oner is still hovering. And they'd have to kill Doran incredibly quickly. They don't want the counterpunch to come through. So instead, just continuing the work that they started earlier when T1 opted to swap their bottom lane to the top side of the map, chipping away at the plates.
TL can continue to keep Jose's whereabouts unknown to T1 too. Always threatening, where is this Nocturne going to be? So under tower, Doran's just going to try and survive here, weather the storm, weather the onslaught. The Varus Neeko still, even with the nerfs, dealing a decent amount of damage and getting that tower so low that the first tower bonus within reach for Team Liquid, if they can make one solid play for themselves on the bottom half of the map. But they're losing the mid jungle so hard that mid's constantly getting priority, chunking down Quid. And then Oner has retained his 1,000 gold lead here. in the individual matchup, and that has resulted in a completed item, a full Sundered Sky, which makes him very strong in all these skirmishes. Now, finally, though, Jose does get his Hexplate done.
That's going to be big, especially before we see that ultimate come out. As you mentioned, the path to T1 or to TL, excuse me, making a play is very clear, but it's just so hard to get that set up when you're not able to get pushed in your lanes first. It's really only top lane where they're able to contest, and Doran, now that he has a bit more healing reduction, is feeling a lot better in that 1v1. We'll see if he can get the first item completion as they're effectively neck and neck after that topside focus from T1.
And Doran had to suffer a bit.
CoreJJ looking for the play, gets the flash out. Might have mistracked the summoner, thought they had an angle there, but that is the paranoia down. Oner staying, keeping his focus on this objective. Faker waiting off to the side, does not have access to ulti, crucially, but Team Liquid don't want to walk up and fight this.
They have Galio. Are they
Quid coming in from behind. Gonna go for the 50-50. Oner once again takes it. Ulti from Yeon does not connect. Forced to back off. Oof.
Very close, just looking for the flip there, trying to get into range of the smite, and Oner's able to land it again. Oner's smites have been very good.
That they have.
This series as well. So T1 secure it, Dragon number 2 for themselves, and they keep on building towards the Dragon Soul.
Frustrating for Team Liquid too, because they certainly had the tools, they had the cooldowns, but weren't quite all on the same page. Didn't want to risk going any further after Oner did flash backwards. Again, Oner's really strong, so I understand why Josedeodo wouldn't want to be locked in a 1v1 there.
Meanwhile, Peyz, the one thing for T1, they do need to get more money into Peyz, more damage. I mean, he's eventually going to get there, and he has the safety of his own cleanse, plus Mikhail's on Keria for later, but definitely needs a bit more to keep the income up, keep the damage coming for him for later, so that he can take over later on.
And
meanwhile, Oner doing a very good job in keeping the vision control here to allow more safety for these lanes.
Yeah, and really rapidly reassigning lanes just to make sure that Peyz does have some space to farm, recognizing he's one of the weakest people on the map right now as CoreJJ is in trouble. Yeon coming over the wall. Kickback from Oner is there. Oof. Trade of cooldowns. Paranoia coming out. So let's play on the top side. Josedeodo debating if he can follow. We got plays in multiple places, both top lane and in the bottom lane. The Faker manages to escape on the top side play and the bot lane play. The kick from Oner is enough for the disengage. Again, the main benefactor here, anytime we see these plays go bloodless, is just Peyz. Gets the time, gets the space.
Pushing in on mid, turret play money here for him. Oner's taking away the jungle the entire time too to keep his lead up, keep his advantage up. Meanwhile, on the top side, they didn't want to full send after Faker used his flash down the river. So they don't end up actually following there. And so TL doesn't really even have any kind of answer after the incursion from T1. And just look at all the extra vision here laid up through this jungle area that T1 are able to leave behind and make these consecutive plays very confident from them. Of course, Doran's always getting the short end of the stick. The last time around when they had to swap over, you know, he's like, all right, fine. You know, I'm the one going into the Varus. Whatever.
Whatever.
I'll take a little bit of a hit. Tower's going to take a little bit of a hit, and it is first tower bonus. So that's, you know, a little extra something there for TL to try and get them back into fighting shape. And you do get the Trinity Force also completed from Morgan on his Zaahen. See if he can be a factor in the team fight.
Yeah. Extra levels too. Just Morgan going to be a bigger threat. A lot of those early cooldowns just super long for the Zaahen. But T1, we expect with the Herald, going to break down a few more structures. Might not even need it for mid lane. Looks like just half a plate remaining there. It's a TP to the bottom lane. TL determined to make a play on to Doran. Morgan dashing in, has that extra shield. Ulti comes out from Doran. Immediate stun on to Quid as the taunt is there. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, they're trying to make another play at the same time. Peyz living for an extra second here. Josedeodo continuing to walk up, hoping to get that shot down on Oner, but they can't quite finish the kill. Doran also surviving in the bottom lane. Why is nobody dead? So many cooldowns.
TL just don't have quite enough damage to finish off either play. And Faker had been pushing up to the side lane on top side, so he got all the way to the tower. But that timing window was a great window of opportunity for Team Liquid, and they're unable to actually make it count. So close. I mean, Peyz no flash and no cleanse. Keria used both summoner spells as well, but not being able to get that shutdown on Oner, oh man, that would have been so juicy for TL to get that shutdown. But they're unable to get it.
We'll have to see. Dragon is the big objective to look at next. It would be soul point for T1. It would be the first for TL in this game. 2 items for Yeon. Is the center of attention this time around. He's been struggling. This is certainly a chance for redemption in these fights because he has the damage to bring it home, to find the edge for TL, but he needs to make sure the rest of his team is ready to fight alongside him. We can't have more of these issues where they're not quite able to finish a kill or the cooldowns aren't quite in sync.
Especially because Peyz, as we said, no summoner spells for either member of the T1 bottom lane here to keep him alive, to keep him protected. No exhaust from Keria, no heal from Keria either, so they definitely, it will be TL's best shot to try and kill off this Zeri. See if they could actually do it though next time. Oner's up to his 2-item power spike with his cleaver done as well.
Important to note that the gold difference between Yeon and Peyz has also just been dwindling. Peyz free farming so much, getting closer and closer there, and after the initial gold influx from those plates, Peyz has been able to get a few back for himself. Nice poke onto him.
Okay. Another tower here goes down to the T1 split push as TL are fully grouped up around this dragon. They want to send everything here.
Desperate to force the 5v5.
Yeah,
Eyes on Faker and his ultimate. Herald going into the mid lane. They're just going to let it charge. Force a response. Man advantage for T1. They're going to be late on the rotation. Who's going to get the 50-50? Josedeodo ready to get in the midst of the pit, but once again it is Oner. Flash forward from Core. Manages to find 3. Immediate lockup onto Faker, but he flashes back. Gets his cooldowns down. The Mikhail's coming through to keep him alive, to keep him standing, but Morgan will get the job done. The death ball of TL. Losing the Drake, but taking the fight.
Yeah, it was like 82 or something health left on that dragon. Oner gets another dragon smite which is used, but they smite.
The smite? Do they want to chase? Yeon is too low. This is a disaster. Peyz getting a kill. The taunt there, TL. We'll get 1 in return, get 2 as Keria's got nowhere left to run. A good smite, but Yeon still dropping down.
Double kill though for Quid. They get them both and they buy more time. Morgan's gonna be able to push this tower on the bottom side, so a lot of gold to TL. Let's take a look though. This dragon, it's so close on the smite. Oner's been insane with these. He is Lee Sin this time around, so let's see about the Q combo. Does it pretty early, and yeah, very close there, down to 82. Again, Oner very steady with his, but Core with the big engage and sets up the full combo. Neeko into Galio coming down on the other side, and Jose with the full send onto Faker. So yeah, even though they didn't dive the Zeri Yuumi with no sums, then they come over afterwards. Everybody's speaking. Yeon is a little bit too far as he's kind of
They were a little too excited. You saw the smite into immediate backup.
Yeah, and Peyz and Keria recognize, all right, we're just going to have to try and fight instead of run. So they get the 1 kill for themselves, but as the rest of the members of TL still wrapping around, they do get the extra kills there. It's just that with T1 here, staring down such an early Dragon Soul on the next one, and Oner's ability to smite these, and especially with Lee Sin, who's so mobile and does have Q damage to work with as well.
Also, just Cloud Soul Zeri gliding on your team is a literal nightmare.
True. All right, now Morgan. Let's see if Morgan is under attack here. Oner on the bottom side of the map. And Morgan again has done quite well for himself, but this time around actually has Nocturne in his back pocket, so he can just hold, continue to farm, as even though T1 clear out the vision, they're fine.
Core on the way as well. Yeon doing what he can just to hold the mid wave. 2.5 items for him. 2 items now for Peyz. The mid lane discrepancy has effectively been evened out. Mandate going to be the choice for Quid. That affects 3 out of 4 of his abilities, so pretty high value, giving that ability haste onto immobilizing spells.
Yeah, it's great for Galio.
Yeah,
for sure, especially after the buffs that they gave it. See if they can pull off another one of those team fights there for TL though. They got a good wombo combo in the previous one from CoreJJ, and he's already passed 50% back on that flash.
Oner spotted out, but TL don't want a full send here. Yeah, thank you, production. Highlighting the differences for Imperial Mandate. These, of course, the buffs, if you, for some reason, missed the rework. It's no longer the Nami item. It's now the CC mage item. And like all support items that get reworked, some other lane is abusing it.
Yeah, I mean, you're still going to be a little squishy, but you do some really nice damage amp, and the ability haste is very good for Galio, applying to the 3 abilities, including ultimate. So very, very nice for him. Let's see if they can pull off that combo again, though. Peyz has been right back out on the map, farms up to his second item as well, so.
And with the Zeri against this comp, it does feel a little bit like the Kassadin meme, right? It's not level 16, it's probably more 3.5 items, but it does feel like TL are playing on the clock. Certainly they can win in late game scenarios, but killing Peyz with this composition is just going to be so incredibly difficult if he just skates over the wall and walks away from you.
Yeah, we'll see. If Core has Flash, then maybe, but Peyz has Cleanse, and they have the Mikhails, of course, on Keria. So he's got 2 ways to try and like break combos that TL are going to go for onto him in the last fight. That being said, though, TL just went straight front.
Yep.
You know, they got 3 members and just killed the members that they did get in the combo. While Jose kind of like pushed Faker out, so he's using the Nocturne ultimate back onto him, onto the other side.
They're definitely feeling comfortable in this one if they can fight on their terms, if they get that initial CC. Peyz not enough of a backline threat to balance out a 3-man engage from Core. Josedeodo playing with a bit more confidence, continuing to walk up. Mid wave pushed in favor of T1, bot wave in favor of Team Liquid. The prowling projectile continues to just fish for a bit of CC. T1 again with that mid lane tower downer in such a nice position. They can just keep pushing mid wave rather than being forced into this Dragon Dance. Flash forward from Faker looking to lock up Yeon. The stun still does connect. But it's a flash for flash trade.
And Quid was scouted on his attempt on the flank here by Oner. Again, kind of squishy.
Ulti now coming in, looking to lock down Faker. Stop him from getting anything else. Excellent spell shield means Faker will fall. Backside it's Doran in the midst of the fight. Quid just barely able to escape. Yeon able to finish off the kill, but now they're in trouble. Peyz is here, as is Doran. Another kill going over to Peyz. Quid not where he needed to be. It's a bit of a mess. There's a double kill, and they're looking to make it 3. Yeon really nowhere to go. Has to hold his own. Red buff there. Lots of damage, but Peyz with Keria on his back is too damn strong. A triple for the Zeri.
Uh-oh! It's a triple for Peyz and a Dragon Soul. Wait a second. Is there a miracle here? Maybe Core or something? They need a miracle. There's no
fake jungler.
There's no smite for either team.
Morgan hoping to get something. Morgan dashing in, ulti, locks up Peyz, but the CC onto Morgan stops him from falling up. The pullback is there, the ulti! Morgan holding the line, will not let the dragon fall. Don't risk the 50-50, just let it reset, just let it reset. Oh, but the TPs, you can't just let it reset. Oh no, Team Liquid.
Wait, Nocturne ult
double
maybe?
TP, Nocturne ult in 8 seconds. No jungler here for T1 yet. Oner sprinting in, Nocturne racing in, Josedeodo hoping. One more smite steal to see who will get the soul. 2K, but Oner is here first. Can they get it? The soul to T1. The kickback is good on the Quid. The turn back though from Josedeodo means he should at least be able to get one. The flash over the wall just to secure the kill. They've locked down Keria. The CC is there. Quid now in trouble. Bear in the midst of the entire team, but Yeon has finally arrived. Q damage is good, but the Bear just causing a little bit too much havoc. Team Liquid forced to retreat. They got some kills, but it's the soul to T1.
Oh, the scramble, and they get another one, Dracos. The Dragons all going the way of T1. Woo! What a scramble in the fight, though. Really making your blood pump in that one. Everybody coming back on the respawns. Morgan has just been trying his heart out this whole series.
He's holding on for dear life here in the MasterCard priceless moment of the game. You can see the scramble starts so nice for the side of TL.
Yeah, Core goes in for the combo onto Peyz, and that allows Morgan to close the distance. Then it's the waiting game and the delay. Both teams trying to buy time for their junglers to get here.
We're watching the Olympic 100-meter dash from the junglers right now, just trying to get there as quick as they can.
And you're going to see wards here. So it's wards for TL that see Oner's approach, and so they know where his position is. Trying to get there. An Oner looks over into the control ward, onto the dragon. Just barely. Jose is in range. Boom, and he's able to get it again.
This man's smites are too good. He needs to tone it down a little bit. Come on, you can't secure every single 50 base. It's not a 50-50 anymore, I feel like.
Nope, it's 100% Oner.
Well, two things have come together at a pretty terrible time for TL, which are the T1 have soul, and Zeri now has 3 items. So she's going to be fast. She's going to be zooming. But if Peyz gets pulled like that again, though, it'd be a different case. He's still a low health bars. There's a mystery raptor there.
Yeah, doesn't show on the mini-map at least, but if you look over there, they have a ward by it. Yep.
Doran's looking for that Somek. Looking for that chicken.
Doran sniffs it out. At least now he's around the rest of the Raptor pit, the spawning point.
I like this. I like that we've just decided to spend the next 2 minutes of this game following Core as a Raptor.
Best part of Neeko, for sure.
For sure. Now he's turned back into Yeon. Less exciting, but T1 debating if they can start the Baron. Certainly have the damage, but need to be careful. The collapse from TL is still lethal.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, T1, though, they're fine to just keep more income onto Peyz. You know, they're not the ones that have a lot of the pressure on them to make something happen here. Morgan, I would say, still keep on focusing on him. You know, 2-item power spike here. He's actually well past it. Another component with the Caulfield's Warhammer coming in too. And him getting the kill onto Peyz as well. So much money in the Zaahen. He's really going to have to put that Zaahen to the test. See if they can make a longer team fight. See if they can get him some uptime and actually close the distance onto the Zeri. Again, Zeri with both sums. And with the Yuumi with Mikhail's and both sums,
yeah, 2 items.
It just seems like, man,
Echo's
even though you have
go.
dive and you have so much combo, seems like it might be hard to keep it and make it stick. But they're going to collapse around mid, maybe. Core's wrapped around again.
If they can find Peyz isolated, it's a lot, of an easier decision. Worth it just to fight for those summoners, but T1 in classic T1 fashion, just going to start the Baron, kind of force Team Liquid into a position where they have to make a play or simply just lose the objective.
They have 3 blue trinkets for TL's side, so I'm not worried about this Baron getting taken away without a contest.
Test might be there. 8K getting lower. Oner shredding it, as is Peyz. Off to the side, Faker's going to drop the ulti. Baron clearly the objective here for the side of T1. 5K. Full faith in the 50-50s. Josedeodo, I don't think he has information. I don't think he can see anything. Oner holding on, debating. Do they want to kick the fight off? That's the ulti. They're going to opt for the retreat here. Ulti in the backside from Josedeodo. Paranoia utilized, getting the flash out. Peyz coming over the wall, wants to turn it now, and he is damn fast. He's just running Josedeodo down. Oner, kick flash across the team. Yeon immediately deleted, and Peyz is about to kill everybody.
And it's a quadra for Peyz. T1 are going to wipe TL off the map.
That was the blink of an eye. We went from this Zeri's not a problem, this Zeri's not a problem, this Zeri is the problem. T1, Oner with an excellent engage, a confident turn to deny Jose's engage, and T1 barreling down the mid lane, looking to make it a clean sweep versus TL.
Yeah, T1, after they see all the ults used and the Varus ult going wide there through the river, they turn it on, they chase him down, and T1 gonna clean it up 3-0.
That they are. Oner and Faker in the early stages of the game, setting up for Peyz to dominate in that one final fight. He's not done. He wants a few more kills to close this one out. Peyz playing with fire, but he is unconcerned. They will finally kill him. But it's too little. It's too late. T1 winning the first series of MSI 2026. Play-ins favorites, delivering on that expectation.
Team Liquid in, the first 7 minutes of the first game, pretty good plan for themselves. Then the second game, the first maybe even 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And got themselves in a good position, but just never quite enough here versus T1. Outplays in some team fights, outplays in some skirmishes. And then game number 3, starting out with the faithful Raptors, Dracos.
Wow, did not look great in those final moments, but credit to T1. Let's send it over to our analysts to break that one down further.